Florida, what did you think was going to happen?
United States through the Florida coast.
Violence continues to escalate in Haiti, and it's to the point now where the Pentagon has just deployed Marine anti-terrorism units.
And as a result, Governor DeSantis is sending over 250 soldiers and officers to protect the state from the land, sea, and sky.
Mass migration concerns. Tonight, Florida politicians, including our Governor Ron DeSantis, are bracing for a possible surge of Haitian refugees packing into boats and arriving on our shores.
The governor announcing today he is sending troops here to South Florida.
A new year, new arrivals and a new plan aimed at slowing the rising tide of migrants trying to enter the U.S. illegally.
Okay, so Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, he says in order to prevent migrants from reaching his state, of course, in Florida, he is deploying more than 250 additional officers and soldiers and more than a dozen air and sea craft to the southern coast of his state, saying that the Coast Guard is lacking resources to interdict a mass migration if it were to happen.
Right now, U.S. Marines are being deployed to the island. At the same time, Project Dynamo here in Tampa is planning its latest mission there, rescuing stranded Americans.
This as the country is still facing escalating gang violence with an unclear transition of power after its prime minister agreed to resign.
Now, the U.S. plans to deploy an anti-terrorism team to the U.S. Embassy. Here in Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis is deploying the National Guard to the Keys to prevent what he believes could be a potential influx of migrants.
But some with intel here on the situation are saying it isn't the coastal sector that needs to be worried here. While many are focusing on these migrants that might be fashioning makeshift boats and arriving at the coast, the president of the Border Patrol Council, Brandon Judd, is telling us that the cartels are going to try to push Haitian migrants into the country illegally, exploiting most likely the Del Rio sector, namely Eagle Pass, Texas. Now, that has been working for them. And so why break, why fix what's not broken? So they'll likely try that route again. Now, as you'll remember, more than 2 years ago under the Del Rio International Bridge, where nearly 16,000 Haitian migrants amassed, that infrastructure wasn't in place to handle that many people. And Judd says that the cartels could easily take a page out of that playbook again, with Eagle Pass pretty much being sealed off right now under Governor Abbott's Operation Lone Star. Now, let's give you a look at the numbers of Haitian migrants that we've seen this month when we compare them to last year. Now, we've seen that number more than triple. As more than 4,000 Haitian migrants have been encountered at our land crossings just this month alone. And in February, more than 11,400 migrants from Haiti were encountered so far this month, though it is tracking to be similar. Here's the thing, though. It's going to take 1 to 3 months for these individuals who are currently fleeing to actually get here. Now, Natasha, we can tell you the repatriations are still happening. The U.S. Coast Guard sent back 65 migrants from Haiti just this week, but the repatriation flights are being threatened. Brandon Judd confirming that those could be halted if the unrest continues there, the chaos continues there, because, Natasha, they have to have permission to land those flights back in Haiti.
Meanwhile, Border Patrol officials are warning agents to prepare for an uptick in the number of Haitian migrants coming into the U.S. The warning comes amid rampant gang violence in the Caribbean nation, and the UN estimates heavily armed gangs now control around 80% of the capital of Port-au-Prince. This is forcing thousands of Haitians to flee their homes, and it's not clear just how many are headed here to the U.S.
So this crisis could be coming to the coast. Obviously, it's kind of not an if but when situation. We'll see some migrants from Haiti attempting to come into the United States. Now, which direction that is still remains to be seen. However, we are learning this morning that the Army facility, Guantanamo Bay, might be used if the U.S. Coast Guard ends up interdicting mass migration.
Guantanamo Bay is going to be used if it's Coast Guard. If the Coast Guard interdicts them and the Coast Guard does not allow them to one of our ports in Florida, then it goes to Guantanamo Bay. But those that come up to our southwest border, it's always going to be the Border Patrol that is going to deal with them, simply because of the sheer numbers. And no, we do not have the infrastructure to deal with that. We just anything above 1,000 apprehensions per day, and we're underwater.
Florida Attorney General Ashley Moody joins me now. Attorney General, good morning to you.
Good morning, Carly.
Good morning. So this could be a big problem. What are the chances this unrest in Haiti could impact people here in the U.S. if these Haitian migrants try and enter the country through Florida?
Well, here we are yet again, where states are sending in reinforcements to protect their own borders because the federal government has done such a poor job. And really the concerning thing here is there is such chaos, such unrest, such upheaval in Haiti. We've recently seen the two major prisons overrun, 4,000 inmates released into that island. And so anytime there is a predicted mass migration, you have to be concerned about who is coming over. And so this is not a time that states can relax. I'm so proud of Governor DeSantis for stepping up and saying this is what we're doing to protect our state. I sure wish we saw that kind of leadership nationally as it related to making sure we were protecting the nation. So this is not a time that states can relax. I'm so proud of Governor DeSantis for stepping up and saying this is what we're doing to protect our state. I sure wish we saw that kind of leadership nationally as it related to making sure we were protecting the nation.
Yeah, and Haiti is not that far. It's 700 miles away, about a 2-hour flight. Given the proximity here, Attorney General, has the Biden administration offered any assistance?
So look, we've already seen boats coming on the Florida shore with Haitian migrants. On that boat, we had drugs, we had a weapon. I mean, this is not some hypothetical we're talking about. Florida is a border state. We have to deal with. We had 20 Chinese nationals coming to our state, and so yeah, I think we would like to see more from this administration. I mean, let's talk about being strong here, sending maritime assets to intercept, to protect this country, and specifically Florida, since it is so close. But this is a reality that all states are having to deal with in terms of sitting in their own soldiers, officers, assets, air, and planes, boats to supplement the underfunded, under-resourced Coast Guard. I will thank the Coast Guard. They are working well with our Florida assets, I'm told. And as long as we can intercept these boats coming over, we have a better chance of making sure we protect Florida from feeling the effects of this unrest and chaos due to gangs in Haiti.
Yeah, and we're showing video right now, Attorney General, of illegal immigrants on the Florida coast entering the country. And you're right, this is not without precedence. So far this fiscal year, there have been over 44,000 Haitian migrants entering Florida illegally. So just logistically here, if migrants are caught along the Florida coastline by these state officers, what happens next? Are they processed and then is it a catch and release situation, or are they sent back to Haiti?
And that's a great question. We want intercepts in international waters or territorial waters with Coast Guard and state assets so that they can be repatriated and returned to Haiti or some other location. If they end up getting into Florida, and again, we don't know who's coming in on these boats. And I have to say that time and time again, because we've seen this with other countries, with their criminals being released from prisons and encouraged to come into the U.S. with not much resistance from this administration. And so if they make it to the state of Florida or any other state, we then hand it over to the fiasco of DHS. And you've seen what that leadership has done in terms of protecting the integrity and safety of this country. And so what we want to make sure is we're supplementing resources with the Coast Guard to intercept these vessels before they reach the state.
It is a chaotic time, but Florida has taken that preemptive step. Attorney General Ashley Moody, thank you so much for joining us.
North Miami's mayor is Haitian American. He said that the words of Governor Ron DeSantis resonate in this community, especially after he said that the state faces the possibility of invasion. At this barbershop in North Miami, there's fear for the future of Haitians.
The people leave their house, they don't have any place to stay. That's the reason people try to leave Haiti to come to the United States.
And concerns over a possible influx of Haitian migrants to South Florida are growing. On Tuesday, the U.S. Coast Guard intercepted a boat off the coast of the Bahamas. It was filled with 65 Haitians. They were all sent back.
They don't disperse throughout the country.
But Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz says the deteriorating conditions in Haiti may lead to a wave of Haitians making their way to Florida on boats.
What are we doing to prepare for that wave and to ensure that these people are not paroled into the United States as the administration has done with people on the southern border, but instead are repatriated back at the dock at Port-au-Prince?
On Wednesday, Governor Ron DeSantis issued a statement. It says, "I have directed the Division of Emergency Management, the Florida State Guard, and state law enforcement agencies to deploy over 250 additional officers and soldiers to the southern coast of Florida to protect our state." He goes on to say, when a state faces the possibility of invasion, it has the right and duty to defend its territory and people.
Invasion? Come on.
Alex DeStolm is the mayor of North Miami, the city with the highest concentration of Haitian Americans in the nation. He is appalled by the reaction from Washington, D.C. and Tallahassee.
It's a humanitarian crisis. It's almost going to be a civil war. And there are talks. There might be some influx of Haitian coming to the U.S. There's no evasion. If the governor wanted to have a conversation, we are here. I think it would have been best for it to see, what is it that we could do for the Haitian American community, for their families and friends, but to put out, this evasion of illegal immigrants, it's not right.
We notice many of these Haitians fear expressing their opinions for apparent retaliation here in the U.S. and Haiti. And according to U.S. officials, the Biden